Hello and welcome back to my channel. If not back, then just welcome. If it is your first time here, I love it if you stick around and subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for tuning in. My makeup today is going to be like pretty simple. I'm going to be trying to mirror the style of a few different makeup artists that I admire on Instagram and talk about how models make me feel bad about myself. But no, really, it'll make more sense when I get into the makeup, so let's just get into this makeup. On Instagram, I've been following more makeup artists because I'm going to start freelancing. And so I want to look up the tips and tricks from artists that I truly admire to be able to replicate those results on my future client base. The thing about that, and also being a makeup wearer, I feel like it would be different if I didn't wear makeup. The thing about watching these internationally recognized and successful makeup artists is that they are doing makeup on models. I don't know if you've seen me, but I ain't no model. And it's kind of bringing up old feelings of where I was resentful towards my face. It's not that deep like it was when I was younger. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I don't have the homogenized look, so I will never look like any of the people that I see. Because I feel like recently, all models have taken this sort of like elfish turn. And I don't mean elf like Keebler elf, I mean elf like Galadriel. Like they're just all very beautiful and ethereal looking. And they have, the almond eyes, they have the slim pointed nose, they have the full pouty lips and like a heart-shaped face. I don't look like that. Never have, never will. And that's okay because the way that I look is fine. Like, I'm going to say something that I know you're not supposed to say out loud, especially not on the internet, but I think I'm pretty. There, I said it. So sue me. And pretty is one of those words where it doesn't really mean anything because everybody's pretty and everybody's ugly because beauty is so subjective. My pretty is different than supermodel pretty. Like I said, because right now I feel like all supermodels look like elves. I have a sort of commanding presence. Like, I know that, like, okay, so here's the thing. There's no way for me to talk about this without sounding cocky, so just bear with me. And that makes me uncomfortable because I'm not being cocky. My pretty is more powerful because I make it so. I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, so I'm saying all of this to say that while I do think I'm attractive and while I do think that my face is worth looking at, I don't look like those girls, and therefore it was making me feel like I was not pretty. Also that I was doing my makeup wrong, because there's also this thing on Instagram where makeup is so transformative. Like Instagram makeup in itself is basically drag makeup. So yeah, there was this disconnect in my brain of I am watching Instagram makeup, so therefore I should have Instagram makeup transformation results. And that wasn't the case because these makeup techniques are not Instagram makeup techniques. They're much more subtle than, say, a full coverage foundation and a cut crease and a wing liner and super overdrawn lips and all of these other things. It's a much more enhancing sort of beauty technique. And as it is enhancing, all I can do is enhance my powerful beauty. It's not going to transform me into an elfish beauty. And that just is what it is. But like I said, it was definitely doing a number on my self-esteem. And then it sent me down this like rabbit hole of, oh, do I even want to get into the beauty industry because do I want to continue to perpetuate these ideals? But it's like by me implementing these techniques on my face and owning them on my face and then going out into the world and performing these techniques on women who don't have that elfish look, I'm divorcing myself from that ideal. I'm taking the tools that I have gained from that system and implementing it into the real world. Does that make sense? Even though I want my role on YouTube to be a normal looking person who is really good at makeup that still has to do with like the non-supermodel aspect of my looks, and it has to do with my looks. But there are things that I like about myself. Most of the things that I like about myself have nothing to do with the way that I look at all. And I'm going to list them in no particular order now. I am very intuitive. Shout out to my Cancer Sun, Pisces Moon, Pisces Rising, trifecta. Very perceptive. I am hardly ever wrong about a person's character. The only people that ever seem to stump me are fellow water signs, but especially Scorpios. I'm always wrong about Scorpios. But even outside of, from an astrological standpoint, I am just really good at reading people. I'm really good at reading a room. I would like to say that I have a pretty high emotional intelligence, and I'm good at giving people the kind of support that they need. If they need a listening ear, I'm all ears. If they need a hug, I'm there. If they need just a swift kick in the butt, I'm also there. I am funny. And not in like a everybody's gonna find me hilarious kind of way, but the people who I want to laugh at my dumb sense of humor, laugh at my dumb sense of humor. So therefore I'm funny. I'm really good at eating donuts. I write poetry that people like and that I like. Poetry is so like personal, and it can be very pretentious and annoying and weird, but I have had a positive response from various types, that's where that was going, of people, from different walks of life enjoy my poetry. So I guess I'm actually pretty good at it. I have like a very weird yet specific sense of direction. If I am somewhere where I have only been one time and I get turned around, I'm pretty good at figuring out where I need to go. I just have a really good internal compass. I guess that would have been the most simple way of saying it. I was officially sorted into Ravenclaw by Pottermore, which as a know-it-all makes sense, but also as a know-it-all, I'm pretty good at trivia, especially movie trivia. One time during Oscar season, I came in third by myself out of a group of like low estimate 40 people. Third by myself. That's the kind of movie knowledge that I have stored up in this brain. Ooh, the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter. I can't get enough of it. And I have textured oily skin, so if it can make me look this dewy and good, I mean, I'm a barista. I have been for like the past 4 years, and I make good coffee. I have had Italian people tell me that I make a good cappuccino. Honestly, I don't think I need to continue on, but I've also had a Turkish man tell me that I made the best coffee that he had ever had since he came to the United States. Like, I'm just saying I'm really good at my job. And I think the final thing that I'm going to say about myself, I love learning. I was going to say I'm a good student, but I'm not a good student so far as like I don't do well with the American teaching standard of like you sit in a classroom for X amount of hours a day and you absorb this information and then you regurgitate this information. Like, I don't do well in that model, but I love learning. My favorite subject is history. I'm a huge history nerd because I'm obsessed with knowing why things are the way that they are. And the more I learn historically about systems that are into place that have been used to oppress people, I'm like, oh, well, duh, no wonder why we're here. But I also like math. I went to math camp 2 years in a row. I did not stick with it because of aforementioned being not very good at being a student, and also I just enjoy history and social studies more than I enjoy math, but I'm good at it. So I think the reason why I love to learn is because I love passing on that information in hopes of it improving other people's lives. So to circle this all the way back around to what we were talking about, the reason why I went to Instagram to learn these techniques from these makeup artists that I do not have access to in my real life. And I'll link the people that I'm talking about in the description box below, so I just don't sound like I'm talking about these vague entities. I just literally cannot remember anybody's name. Is I want regular people to have access to feeling like they have the right, because obviously if you're going to learn these techniques, learn them from the professionals. I'm just here to show you their principles applied on a regular ass face. By being someone who is not like drop dead gorgeous and doing these things and owning them and knowing that they do belong to me, I'm hoping to give other people that same confidence. You have been watching for a minute. Thank you so much. But remember when I was like talking about how much I hated my eyelashes and how I wanted an eyelash transplant? So extreme. That was stemming from looking at these like freaking Alvin ethereal beautiful women who definitely have on like eyelash extensions or individuals or something like that, which I then went out and bought myself individuals and was like, oh, well, duh, okay. But low key, I still want an eyelash transplant if that is all possible. Thank you so much. I was almost like, see you later. I have not put on lipstick or eyebrows. Now for my lipstick, make sure I don't have any like foundation on my lips. And boom. So yeah, this video was just hopefully short and pretty sweet and simple and to the point. I don't know, I just wanted to encourage you, if you have ever felt invisible in the sea of the beauty world, because it's one of those things where companies are selling us this idea of insecurity, of that the way that we look when we wake up and just like wash the crust out of our eyes, there's something wrong with that and that you need to improve on that, instead of having makeup be something that you do because you want to and you like how it makes you feel, not that you are indebted to it. Did that sentence make sense? Was that a sentence? Or was that just a run-on thought? Either way, you're great the way that you are. You don't need makeup, but if you want to use makeup, then use it. And you have the right to do makeup however you see fit. Is the moral of the story that I'm going to stop telling, because now I'm just talking in circles. And thank you for indulging me for this long. As always, always, especially on these more chatty videos, if you have made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you so very much from the bottom of my heart. Till next time, bye folks.